Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS North American Challenger. We're getting ready to move into our semifinals match. Your hand always comes in when you're doing that. My name is Future. I'm joined by Jeff in control, Robinson. And our next match is going to be MaSa versus Neeb.
Hoping for some good games.
Yeah, I think.
To be honest,
I want some too.
We did not really. The first round was a bunch of bops.
Yeah, Puck versus MaSa was at least interesting, but it still ended up, like you said, kind of being bops.
3-0.
It was still a 3-0. Again, weird games, but we can actually go ahead and just recap those games as we pull up our bracket for you guys.
Show it to me.
Boom, there it is. 3-0s all across the board. We've had a very short day here for this playoffs.
4 best-of-5s in less than 3 hours.
This is, you know what, this is pretty similar to Europe from yesterday in a lot of ways. And it's faster than Europe, but it's still all the 3-0s. You know,
1-3-1.
We had a 3-1 in the second semifinals match. Do you think we repeat?
Well, no, they had in the first 4 best-of-5s. I'm learning with you that you say things super confidently, but I'm like, is that really what happened, Fear Dragon?
If I just say it confidently enough, you'll just...
You've gotten all by me. You're like, this is what happened. I'm like, that is what happened. But I'm like...
I think that was the case anyways. But
you
anyway.
what? You think it was 4 best-of-3s, or you think it was 4 3-0s?
I think for the quarterfinals. You might be right, though. Maybe one.
Well, I know I'm right.
Okay.
That's what.
Okay.
I don't know that, actually. I just say it confidently as well.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this next match, this is kind of funny because both Neeb, coming from the Masters Coliseum tournament, just immediately flew back to Korea. So he's back home in the Unity house. And MaSa also in Korea, I think with some family and all that good stuff. So they're actually going to be playing on the Korean server. So despite the fact that Neeb is playing from Korea, not going to have to deal with that lag.
Yeah, casted from here in California of 2 players from mostly North America in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Such a beautiful international game we have.
All right. Looks like the players are ready. Go ahead and tell them that we are ready. And we'll get things started. MaSa versus Neeb. Now, this is a repeat from the Season 1 of WCS Challenger. The finals, the grand finals, where that was a best-of-7. And it was MaSa proxying effectively every game, or at least faking a proxy by hiding his buildings right outside his main base, making Neeb kind of second-guess himself. Do you think that we're going to see something weird like that again, or just...
Yes.
Okay.
It's MaSa. Not necessarily every game.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to be weird. That's what he do.
Ooh, okay. Well, I think we might have you observing, Jeff, because my overlay is not set up.
Are you being serious?
I am being serious.
Okay. Sorry,
this is a
everybody.
rare treat, guys. This is a very rare treat.
I don't even know how to do this. There's their names.
Control-Shift-5 for best of 5.
Control
Shift 5. All right.
Did I do anything?
Yeah, so you set it to best of 5.
Oh.
And
I think our producers need to get us
Control
in
X.
game.
Control X.
Control X.
All right, now we're good to go. We'll jump in and choose the players, I guess.
Into the game.
Eventually.
Into the game we go.
Think we're getting ready. Moving.
They can't see anything. It's just the picture of the players. It's just
All right.
the picture of the players.
Maybe. Okay. Can we?
You're the host. Fear Dragon, you gotta talk us through this moment.
Okay. Well, hopefully production will bring us to Jeff's PC so we can observe this game. I think there is a proxy going on.
Not really.
No. I'm like trying to look at your screen. Okay. Okay. Looks like we're good now, guys. We're getting ready.
Switch the colors. No.
Okay. So it looks like Neeb.
I'm the observer now.
Yeah.
This is gonna be bad, boys. You thought Nate, you thought Fear Dragon were bad?
Do you want to hit Control N, by the way? Control N.
You know what I want to hit? I'm gonna hit Control I so we can keep an eye on that economy at all times.
Oh, got him.
No, I won't. I want to hit Control I.
Okay. I was really gonna enjoy that. Okay. Well, as we get ready to jump into this PvT, we see Neeb already going for a bit of that wall over at the front of the natural expansion.
Bit of a wall, then.
Yeah.
He's going for a bit of a wall.
That's not a full wall yet. Everything starts off as a
You're doing great, Fear Dragon.
Oh. It's okay. I know you need to focus on your observing.
This sucks a lot. I'm not an observer.
Sorry.
Even on my own stream, I'm not a good observer.
Aren't you just playing with your own
supply
stream?
block then, Derlin. A little bit of a supply block.
All right, well, PvT, we got our Reaper moving across the map, looking for proxies. Neeb has been going for some of those kind of proxy gateways in some of the games. So we ended up seeing actually Puck trying a couple of those. So you can see MaSa just a little bit wary about that. And now you just have me really hearing myself saying a little bit every single time.
A little bit of a wall in then, darling. All right. Sorry, guys. This one threw us off a little bit for some reason. But we are... You know what's important, guys?
What?
This is the game. This is official. The results are real.
Yeah.
How we watch it, how we talk about it, that part, not as quite as official.
That is fair. Okay, well, Adept pokes forward. It tries to get some scouting information. Doesn't really see too much outside of just the Reaper and the 2 Marines. Might actually be able to see that Widow Mine. Oh,
nope.
Tries to avoid it. Nice job.
Hard to avoid what you can't see, Rubby. I mean, actually, no.
Well, the Widow Mine saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
so the Widow Mine was avoiding the
Oh.
Adept by kind of hugging the wall.
Okay, you gave a personality to a Widow Mine, I see. I was having a tough time with that.
They're people, too.
They're literally not.
Definitely not. Adepts are actually taking quite a bit of damage, and MaSa starts 7-4, but losing a lot of Marines in the process. This is actually a lot of damage for just those 2 Adepts, and a 3rd Adept going to be joining the fray. There is a Stargate behind this as well, and a couple of gateways being added on. Neeb is... Actually, the Marine count is exceptionally low. This is kind of worrying right now for MaSa.
Minor concern.
That's a little bit of a concern. Oh! I like that sound effect.
What sound effect?
Oh, that was the in-game sound effect for, for that Oracle.
That was pretty sick. I love what they've done with this game.
Okay, both of the Adepts end up dying. There's one Adept that managed to survive and get out of there, but killed off a handful of the Marines. MaSa still has enough to go for a drop with one of those Widow Mines.
How's this for observing? Look at that. Did you know this trick?
The control shift F. You know, you can actually, if you... Just gonna let that happen.
What would you talk about if you were with 6 dudes and a Widow Mine inside of this thing?
Well, I wouldn't talk to the Widow Mine, because it's not a person, right?
That's right. It'd be weird.
I think it'd be the same as being in a medevac with just 6 other Marines, right?
Yeah, 6 of them in. I like where this is going. All right, Cyclone shows up. This is in trouble, but the Widow Mine picks up by hot pickup. Drop behind, focus down, but not enough from a Neeb, and this Nexus is in trouble, but here comes a Phoenix round. They're trying to get the shot off, but look at him pick it up here. Everything's coming in one at a time. You would call this terrible micro, and it certainly would be a case for it, but here come the Stalkers picking off something. 2 players. It's a sloppy Joe battle.
Yeah, but the Cyclone is going to reign a little bit supreme with the 2nd Cyclone also showing up here. 4 Stalkers, able to get some good damage onto that medevac, but I do feel like MaSa's getting the better end of this.
Well, it could be the case. The Nexus is low in health. He's trying to kill it. If he kills the Nexus, that'll be 1 dead with only 2 remaining. It does die.
Down it goes.
So do the Cyclones, but a quick note, they can't die. They can only be defeated. They don't have life.
Do they faint or no?
Do they
Can
faint,
robots faint?
Do they drink
like
of electric ponies?
I don't think that's how it goes.
You need to watch more movies. And I need to listen more carefully to it because I think it's a unicorn. But
still, 9 workers go down alongside that 3rd base as well for Neeb. So MaSa is at roughly the same number of workers. He did lose a lot of units in the process there. And it's only 3 Stalkers to really kind of contest him. The problem, I think, is also that Stim is so delayed from that push out. Bunker is going to finish up just in time.
Could be a point, but to quote the great Fear Dragon from a previous broadcast, at the very least, Neeb is alive.
I know, at the very least, he's not dead.
You're right.
Well, 3rd base is going to be finished up here for MaSa as he floats that on over. The Stalkers should be able to get a scout on this if they move over to that location at some point, but had some harassment going on. I think that...
Is there?
There was in the natural, but it got picked off. I think it may have been a Liberator or something. I'm not sure. I missed it.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
I missed it for sure.
I know, I was watching.
I was DJ scratching on that CC. But
okay,
I'm
nice
picking up on this hot micro. Yeah, sick micro, right?
Picking off a lot of these Marines. And remember, MaSa's lost a ton of his Marines earlier on as well, so he's on a very low army count right now. Stim not finished, and this is not... Okay, with some hot pickup micro, he might be able to actually do more damage, but unfortunately he's not focus firing down the Stalkers. So he doesn't actually end up getting any of those.
He got really cute there for a second. He wanted to. Is there any observer here? You know what?
I don't think it matters.
Hang on. Look at this. Look at that observing. There is not.
No, there's not. And now we're going to see the Adepts just shade on forward. The Widow Mines do manage to unburrow and evade dying immediately, but this is a lot of damage that MaSa is taking with the Adepts in the main base as well as that natural expansion.
Adepts drop more with the third here. Widow Mines remain a problem though, and there are a lot of Widow Mines.
Are they a problem? Are they not? Are they a problem? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the connections. If those Widow Mines are just a little bit further to the left, he may have been able to get some damage done, but MaSa's down 27 workers. Has to float away the third.
Let it.
Widow Mines get some okay shots off. I mean, some pretty awesome shots off. If there were still an economy and an army behind this for MaSa.
You feel better about it?
I would feel better about it.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to really be the case right now, as MaSa is only actually down about 4 or 5 workers.
Yeah. But he isn't dead.
He isn't dead yet. He's still got a lot of these Widow Mines further back. I think he's trying to micro Neeb back further into the Widow Mines, so he'll take some of those hits, but not quite getting connections there.
It's a low econ game, man.
Yeah, both these players are on a very low econ. I don't want to say that Neeb is fully all in, but he's really got to get, I feel like a little more damage, right?
Just partially in, you would say?
He's not even partially in, he's just like...
Would you say it was like just the tip of what he has to offer? It's just...
This is just the tip of what he has to offer.
Okay.
As he starts up a Dark Shrine and cancels it immediately. I think even Neeb is a little bit flustered on what to do right now this game.
Yeah.
That Orbital Command is getting low. Would you try and move those Widow Mines further forward, or do you think it's just...
Every time he does, they get picked off, so I guess not. Like right now I would have, yes. But you can't go too far.
Medevac!
Templar Archive's behind us. Did you say Templar Archive? I think you said Dark Shrine.
I said Dark Shrine. He had a Dark Shrine and he canceled it.
Oh, he canceled it?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Oh, man.
You and I both agree on that.
Concussive Shells would have actually been really nice with all this kind of...
Loss is up in supply during this, by the way. I think we're about to watch a Protoss be like, I've won every fight, and then I lose the game somehow.
He is muling off of his 3 orbital commands, and now the Bioforce, he has enough medevacs that haven't really been dying. He's trading out pretty cost efficiently. The Stalkers do not trade out very well versus Marauders. Now the Adept Warping comes forward, but a Widow Mine lands on all of these Adepts. A bunch of their shields get taken out.
Yeah, medevac's pretty good, man. This whole time it's been shields, and that's fine, and you got some fancy micro, but the medevacs have made it so the units are just not really dying.
The Warp Prism, Warp Prism's oddly almost safe because there's just no Marines left over. He's gonna pick up those 4 Stalkers. Retreat home. He has a 3rd base, but so does MaSa.
You know what he wishes he had right now? Dark Shrine.
Do you actually think a Dark Shrine would be better in the situation where your opponent has 3 orbitals?
Low econ is the name of the game. So things like missile turrets get skipped, all the mules get dropped, there's very little detection. A single DT can hold off an entire attack very often, but more importantly, 1 DT in each main or in each base. Let me show you, because I'm the observer. Nothing. Ready? Nothing there. And then wait for it. Nothing.
Yeah.
And now watch. Now watch this. Observing. There's the 2. Oh, it doesn't show their energy. Never mind. Never mind. Next time. Okay.
Do we have damage life forms?
Screen's also locked. I have to drag it. This computer is not set up to observe. And here is the problem.
Okay.
Because now those Widow Mines are in a position of power.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty difficult. The Adepts can try and shade past the Widow Mines, but then they're going to be engaging without the Stalkers. Stalkers do not have Blink either, so they're gradually...
Storm about to finish. That's what he's waiting for desperately.
Okay, the last Storm does manage to cover some of the Marauders, but it's so many Marauders that the army doesn't actually die there for MaSa.
Yep. The Storm's a huge leg up here, but then in low econ, the medevac count against a small Protoss army with just a few Storms becomes super, super powerful. Because you feedback them, but they don't have enough energy for that to really matter. You storm them, but it's a bunch of Marauders that have enough health.
Oh, he's going to be able to come in from both sides. The Liberator and a handful of these Marines and Marauders coming in from the backside. The Stalkers...
Shoot, the medevac's going all bunched up, but I'm not sure that matters that much.
There's still 6 medevacs out, but... Okay.
He dead. He
dead.
dead.
On the left. There it is. MaSa.
Let's never have me observe again, by the way.
You know,
ever.
I thought you did a fantastic job.
Thank you. But it's...
I wasn't watching most of it. I was just watching on my PC.
Gave it all she's got. It was everything I had.
Okay. Well, now I should be able to observe, because I will have the actual overlay and stuff set up. I just need to make sure I also get like life bars and everything set up. So let's jump into that game pretty quickly.
Game number 2.
Game number 2?
MaSa taking the first game against Neeb. Didn't see that coming, did you, folks? Well, that's what we have here at WCS Broadcast. Shocks and surprises and excellent commentary. I know some of you don't think so, but you're wrong. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there were some shocks.
I've watched all of the broadcasts. Ours is the best.
All of the broadcasts?
Yes.
You even watched Masters Coliseum last night?
I did. Terrible commentators.
Wow.
Who was it?
I think Tenshi and No Regret.
They're good people.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get ready to hop into game number 2, like you said. Were you expecting that game to go anywhere even close? I mean, that really was a weird situation because I actually thought that Neeb pretty much had MaSa dead to rights.
Yeah, he disrupted the third, which was really nice. The attack inside the main, I think you just tipped the hat to MaSa a little bit. He handled everything pretty darn well. He had a lot of Widow Mines, which ended up being very strong, not necessarily because they were getting wicked huge hits. It's because they zoned out Neeb and made him really cautious about where he could and couldn't go. And then it was just a problem, and this is one of the things that's really subtle, but if you don't kill the medevac, so like at first it's 3 or 4, then you can kind of stim your army. MaSa's a known overstimmer, but if he has 9 medevacs floating over the top, and you'll notice they almost never had energy, then that overstim means that most of your units are at like middle health, which is good enough, and that was just too much for Neeb to deal with. So because MaSa didn't die to the initial impact, son of a gun.
What?
He says switch the colors, but the
Oh,
colors
no, I think for production, we're going to go back to me observing now, if that's okay. And my colors should be fine.
My colors are
All right. Well, guys, it's going to be on 16-bit. We're getting...
I really want these guys to look at the screen, though. I want them to really feel it.
Yeah, you know, Neeb has a pretty intense stare. MaSa actually just looks a little tired.
So production says change the colors again, but I don't know how to tell them. It's the same colors as last game.
So hold on, production. I'm gonna be the one observing, not Jeff this one, because I fixed the overlay and everything.
I think he's saying he can't switch to you for some reason.
I'm on the wrong overlay. Oh, okay. Apparently I'm on the wrong overlay. So
well, hurry up.
Well, I can't. You can't change it after we load into the game.
Okay, it's me, but I don't know how to change colors.
We can actually just swap positions if you want. I can literally. Okay.
Is it you?
Huh? Jeff's observing. All right.
Oh, for God's sake!
We'll introduce the players really quickly because there is a proxy. Actually, can we just go to the proxy right now? Because that SCV is about to die.
Just GG.
The SCV just got killed.
Just tap out. Tap out. You can't finish the barracks.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he's actually sending another SCV. He's actually not going to cancel it, though. That's actually so bad.
Oh, but the SCV is going to get scouted by the probe, so Neeb knows. He'll still be able to finish it, but it's going to be so late at this point. Even his factory gets delayed.
I think we as production should just GG right now. Good game.
You really don't want to observe, do you?
No, it all doesn't make sense. The producer's like, change the colors. I'm like, but the colors are the same.
Okay, well, the Reaper still does manage to get out before the Stalker or the Adept finishes, but it just has so much less time to actually get damage done. There's a proxy pylon coming down from Neeb. So I do wonder, does MaSa realize, okay, well, there was a probe make its way across the map, and it didn't actually get to my main base, so...
I'm boosting a stock, my bro. You're doing that thing again where you're doing the commentary, like, build up the tension, like, way up high. But it's just not there.
Cute positioning for the factor. I do think that MaSa is very likely...
No! Yeah, I think
we got all the Stalker moves out of position.
He did pull it out of position. He originally had rallied inside his main. Like,
multiple shield batteries coming down. Does he... He must think that the factory is actually being proxied as well.
I actually think it might be a little bit of a fake, my man.
The shield batteries?
He literally loses the probe on the other side of the map.
And 4 workers have gone down so far.
Yeah, because if you see the shield batteries, there's a party that says, this guy thinks I'm cheesing him, and as we can see with MaSa, he's not. So it really is hard for MaSa to be like, I think there's a
so. I think he thinks that the factory is proxy because he lets a shield battery finish.
He lets a shield battery finish, not the 2.
But would you, if you thought that your
I'm offering you a glimpse into the mind of a good Protoss player, and you're like, no, bad Protoss player mind. He doesn't know, man. And look at MaSa's base. Look at everything he's making. Tell me that guy knows an Oracle's about to show up.
Oh no, I don't think he has any idea about that.
Well, that's what I was saying. The whole point behind the shield batteries is to make him think that he thinks he's getting cheesed.
Okay.
G-Unit! And look at that, guys. Not only did I do a crappy job observing, I fought back Fear Dragon's want to change what I was sharing with you guys, and I correctly called the game. I'm done.
That was impressive.
That's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go as far as this headset will allow me not to go. I have to still be here. Let's do this, though. How do we get you observing?
I should be observing now.
Production?
Production, hopefully. We'll agree. But all right, guys. Game number 3. That game gets won off the back of scouting the proxy barracks, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. The fact that he made... So the second it gets scouted, you can get lucky with the RNG of the SCV just finishing the barracks anyways, but when it got picked off, the choice to send an SCV across the map to finish it, no. Cancel, build at home, which sucks, and then just expand and you know, do stuff at home. It's not a good situation, and you're absolutely correct. That is where the loss began to develop. But I love that Neeb's head, and if you've noticed, Neeb, and I've got the biggest head in StarCraft, by the way. Literally the biggest head in StarCraft. Oh, yeah.
Do you?
It's deceiving. It fits the body, but when you... I can't wear a hat. Like, there's no hat that fits my head. Ask Rotterdam. Anyways.
Okay.
A big head can notice another big head, and I notice Neeb has an extremely large cranium.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you just give him a little push, he's over. He knew that his play was to make it really sold to MaSa. He's like, oh my god, I'm getting all in for sure. And that... Did you see where the Stargate was placed? I mean, you have
Yes,
to.
yeah.
Oh my god, is that aggressive? That's like silly. That's like if you build to the right of your depot, you just spot the Stargate. You'd never want to build there. But the follow-up would have been Void Rays and Shield Batteries had Neeb not lost. Tell me it's you observing, please.
It is me observing.
Thank you, God. I want to get back to my memes.
All right, well, we're going to be starting up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, top of the blue Terran player. He is MaSa, OSC Elite.
I didn't even change the score last game, and I apologize. That's me.
Oh, no, they actually...
They do that?
Production handles the score.
Whoa, I thought we changed the numbers.
No?
Are you sure?
We can do whatever we want. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
All right, spawn down here in the bottom left, we have our red Protoss player. He is Neeb from Ting. And on a note, we do have a proxy, but it's not going to be on the other side of the map, and it's not going to be an aggressive one. It's going to be, like you said, fake proxy.
Very frustrating to play against. It's really, really smart. It's just, when you get in that main and you don't see it, it just unravels what you think you're facing. You do not say to yourself, oh, I absolutely think he's just hiding the barracks. 1 gas, 2 gas, doesn't matter. It is 2 gas here. And it's just so nice because it makes it, MaSa is capable of being like, well, I'm going to dictate where we go. Now, if you did watch the GSL, we did see this taken to the umpteenth degree with Keen, where it can backfire. Some of your production is outside that base. Adding add-ons, that kind of thing gets limited. So it's not like it doesn't come at a cost. Otherwise, everyone would just do it all the time. But it's a nice mind game against a player that you otherwise would favor over MaSa.
Okay, Probe's going to move forward, and it's going to get the scout out on exactly what you were talking about, where you do see both of those gas guys, and you know that it's going to be some form of that kind of proxy, but you just don't know necessarily where.
And it is factory outside of base, by the way, as well.
Ooh, okay, yeah. That really does actually scare a lot of pros players, and he does have the Nexus coming down the low ground. Do you just commit to this and you say, okay, I need to get the shield battery and everything to defend? Yeah,
there was a time where you canceled, you went 2 gates, and you thought an all-in was coming, and for a lot of that time, the all-in was coming. In this case, now, of course, with us, with our perfect information, we can say it looks like an all-in is coming, but for Neeb, the more common reaction here is just that it's at the single barracks. He's scout it. I think now, that's got to be infuriating for MaSa. This is the first place he went, too.
Yeah. You know what? I really want to emphasize the whole idea that MaSa has done that whole just continuously proxy things on his side of the map.
He stuck his SCV. You dirty Terran. You deserve that. And that gets scouted too.
Ooh. This cancels it. Wait. Is he just going to build that back at home, or? He cancels the tech lab as well.
He's defaulting. He's going to go back.
Oh my god.
Dirty Terran player.
Cancels 3 different things to throw Neeb off his scent and just go back to standard. And there's a command center going to get scouted on the low ground.
This probe, by the way.
Oh my god.
This probe just...
Okay, it's not going to get back
deep
down.
throat of probe.
But it saw the barracks that was lifted off, I think.
It's seen everything.
Yeah. But he knows also that like the tech lab and everything also got canceled again and is floating back to the main.
All right. Well, Neeb is informed. He knows. And an uninformed Neeb that has scouted you cleanly is a very tough opponent. Very tough.
Stargate also just...
I love it.
Phoenix?
Yep. I love
Lift up the Cyclone? Or just get scouting information?
Either way. Yeah, you can lift up the Cyclone, you can lift up Marines. You can trigger off the anti-air and then pull back and be like, you're on a little bit of a cooldown, aren't you, Cyclone man? Or woman. Or robot, we don't know.
I think Cyclones are just robots.
You know what, though? The thing about that is we're heading in the direction of Like, it's not fair to just call it just a robot, right? Like, if it identifies as something else. Now the whole base is back in its main, by the way. It's redeployed.
Yep. Probe moves forward, doesn't really see too much, sees the bunker and the Cyclone, but there is that third command center that MaSa tried to go for very quickly as well.
I like that. That's a good reaction. If he does anything aggressive from here, I think it falls well into the trap of what Neeb was expecting, and then you're in a lot of trouble.
And it's going to be an Oracle follow-up, so it's not just multiple Phoenix coming out. We'll see. He's gonna move forward, and depending on the angle that this Phoenix moves in, I was gonna say, yeah, it might not actually scout out that third command center. Second Phoenix comes forward, and there he does scout it out, and he's gonna be able to delay it a little bit.
Adorable. So for those of you who didn't see that, that was not a mistake. He picks up the Cyclone to shut down its triggered and special ability to shoot at the air at a higher rate. And then, or actually at all, right? It doesn't shoot at air otherwise.
Yeah. It just cannot do anything versus those Phoenix.
Shuts that down and then scouts. Like the one Phoenix shooting doesn't do anything to it, so that's just a waste of time. So don't worry about it.
He did see the starport earlier on, but he has not seen it since it landed onto the tech lab, so he doesn't quite know about the Banshees just yet. But he moves forward, but he doesn't get the scout out again.
What do you mean again? That would be the first time he didn't get the scout.
Well, no, he moved in with the Phoenix earlier where he did the pickup on the Cyclone and everything.
Okay.
And the starport was there, the tech lab.
You're a harsh teacher. He's gotten like 6 out of 8 scouts, and you're like, well, he missed again. What a fool.
Soccer's getting pushed back. One of them almost goes down. Looks like they're going to find an opportunity, or the Phoenix and the Oracle will move into the main base, though.
Jeez Louise. Still, is this the third time he didn't scout, though? Fear Dragon?
No, he did scout it this time, right?
Did he?
Oh, he didn't see the tech lab? Oh, my God.
No.
Banshee's
got an Oracle, though, right?
Yeah, Banshee's on the other side of the map.
Oh,
he had an Oracle.
Oh, jeez. He's got an Oracle, right?
Does he have a
Oracle.
He has a Robo. He has not made an Observer yet. Cloak is going to be finishing up, and I love that he's actually just hiding that Banshee in the bottom right.
Yeah, because one Banshee can get shut down by a shield battery even if you can't see it, but 2 will kill 10 probes if you don't have an answer there. Now, the problem is, that's a big army.
That's a very big army.
Is that 8 gates? It has to be 8 gates, right?
8 gateways.
Holy cow. And there's just a bunker.
Also, actually he literally just has a bunker there. He's moving across the map with some units.
Cyclones, right? And, well, everything.
Cool. Yeah, that's not actually good enough to just base trade off of, Jeff. Turns out.
Oh, especially when you throw away the Widow Mines. Jeepers, creepers. That's a huge
Well, that was
army.
half of his army at home.
Yeah, this is
Bunker's
super.
gonna go down.
It's going to get weird. But he can recall back is the thing, right? Like,
yeah.
Pick off the orbital and recall back. That's what I would do.
I mean, it's really rough too, because not only is there the Robo, but there's also the Stargate, so you can make an Oracle if you really needs to for any form of detection.
And I think MaSa went to the 3rd, by the way. So Neeb's like, yo, you just gave me 5 more minutes. Like, go ahead and kill the 3rd. I don't care at all about that. He's come back. They're gonna trigger. I mean, it's gonna be sloppy over, but it's 3. They're not gonna do it. Where's the Banshees even? Are they even here?
They, I think, recently tried to move somewhere because they were in the bottom right earlier. They were in the middle of the map. They were trying to retreat back. Yeah. Neeb is going to be able to go up 2-1 in this best of 5.
And this is we saw this against Special at WCS Valencia. We've seen this in a few places. This is unfortunate because for a while the Terran meta was very strong in that they can include, and it still is. They're still trying it. Cloaked Banshees. Proxy buildings, like real low tech, jump up to 3 different tech paths and be the aggressor and throw the Protoss off, because Protoss were kind of locked into like, I open Stargate and I just defend back at home. And if you're doing that, you can get ran over by some of these kind of weird compositions. But lately, off the backs of like Hero parting, less so parting obviously, but more so kind of publicly, he streams a lot. And then Neeb's been deploying this a lot. We just see them throw a single War Prism out there. And he added a lot of sentries and other things. It's more often than not just stalkers, and you just juggle them backwards. But that kind of firepower against a Banshee, a tank, and like 4 Marines will always run it over for the most part.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of that kind of working versus Puck, but against Neeb, just kind of talking about Puck is not exactly the same kind of play style as Neeb. And we see that does run into some problems versus a pros player like that. But ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we're going to go to a short little break before we hop into game number 4. So don't go anywhere. You're watching WCS North American Challenger. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS North American Challenger. We are still in the middle of our first semifinals match, ready to move into game number 4. My name is Fear Dragon, and I am still joined by Jeff and Control Robinson.
Haven't fired me yet.
Yeah.
Haven't fired me yet.
Yeah. I mean, you tried to fire yourself for a little bit as you walked off.
Yeah. And I've punched myself in retirement several times. But the problem is, if you punch yourself multiple times, it's in, it's out, it's in, it's out.
So you punch yourself an even number of times.
I have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, game number 4 getting started.
Our first game 4, by the way.
This is the first game 4 of the entire day. Okay.
That's all I got, Fear Dragon.
No, that was a good contribution.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciated it. Well, we're going to be starting up here in the top left-hand corner of the map. Top Catalyst, a red Protoss player. It's Ting's Neeb. And spine down here in the bottom right, it is our blue Terran player from OSC Elite. He is MaSa. Affectionately known as the one true Maru by players in Canada.
Well, it's going to be an in-base barracks. I think some part of MaSa got a little bit tired of having absolutely everything scouted over and over again. Did not, Neeb did not see the Cloaked Banshee, as you pointed out correctly. But the unfortunate thing is that there's like 2 tech paths, and both are pretty okay answers against that Banshee, right? That's the other issue, especially if it's a delayed Banshee. If it's an early one, and you hide it fully, and 2 Banshees show up, and you've just got Stalkers out on the map, you're dead. But if it shows up that late, and in fact, we kind of lost track of it, right? Like, it might have not showed up at all last game.
It was hiding in the bottom right, and then he was sending it over to the main base, the base trade, and then he pulled it back and moved it over toward his main base, but it didn't even get there. Yeah.
And even if it did, one Banshee
what's it gonna do?
Shooting after you've lost your orbital, you lost your natural, and you're losing your main, it's just not going to do enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so we're going to have a little bit more of a normal opening this time, and Neeb, again, scouts out everything, but this time it's that normal scout out everything. It's the okay, it's in your base, and we're going to default to that. And the funny thing about this is, for some of you that might be new to watching, as we do watch the probe go down, MaSa, it's not like he's got bad macro play. This is not a player where we have to be like, he's got to cheese to win. We talk about that sometimes. Neeb's just way better. It's really not the case. MaSa's been one of the best WCS performers outside of Korea over the years. It's just that it feels like he's pretty hot and cold, right? Like when he's really hot, he looks amazing, but then when he's kind of cold, it's a little bit of a bopping. Yeah,
it's also one of those weird things where I think sometimes he really just relies almost too heavily on the whole, I'm going to proxy you because later on I'm going to play a macro game and I need you to make sure that you kind of respect not getting too greedy against me. But it's kind of funny. I think sometimes maybe gets a little too involved with the proxies, but I can't really argue with the results half the time.
That's what I was going to say, Fear Dragon. I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's good analysis, but I think what's funny about him is that his results have been pretty good, right? And he is not, he's around as good as it takes to compete with the top players, but he's not better than them. We would never say that his mid to late game is better than Neeb's or Scarlet's or any of this kind of thing, but it's not so far off that he can't do it. So he's an interesting player that way. Because there are players that we talk about where it's like, they need to cheese, they need some weird element here, otherwise they're just going to get bopped.
Yeah, he's a massive wild card. I think anytime there's a tournament with MaSa, I actually think that anyone's kind of foolhardy if they just try and predict how MaSa's going to do. Because not even MaSa, if you see him play the day before, you actually don't know how MaSa's going to play.
It's fun. That's an interesting element here. But we do get some proxy. But it's going to be spotted. So a couple of Hellions here. And there's a starport, I believe, top right. Yeah, and that's going to be that Cloak Banshee. So we've talked about this just a few moments ago. This is pretty good. And as you can see, there is Oracle coming out. It's going to scout the whole main almost assuredly if we get that far into the game. But then, again, two Banshees show up. If you don't have, 10 Stalkers, it does so much damage.
And Neeb has been primarily just making pure depths, and he gets out an Oracle. He's getting out a second Oracle. Jeff, none of Neeb's units actually shoot up right now.
They don't, but we've got some time. Ravi, it should not be the one Banshee. It's going to be a couple, I would imagine. Look at Neeb. He still knows this is MaSa's. There could still be something out here. And I almost wonder if he takes this long to get inside the main, if maybe he doesn't even go into the main. That'd be interesting.
Ooh, that would be pretty rough for him. There are more Hellions being made, so there really isn't a whole lot to actually deal with the Oracle either. And the Oracle is not going to find a missile turret.
There's a Widow Mine that was targeting him. It's on the top of the barracks.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Hiding behind that barracks.
But nothing here? Isn't that funny?
There's one Marine. That's actually all that MaSa has to deal with this.
The new meta is the fear that Protoss have. Just no. If they just... I don't think there's one even in the main middle line.
Nope.
It's just the one. And it almost got him.
There's another one in the top right, so he's going to try and get him on the retreat, but he's going to lose so many workers in the process.
All right, well, while this is happening, remember, the Cloak Banshee play is developing. Now, Neeb does scout out most of the base, and I don't know... Oh, boy. Okay. I don't know that he believes that, like, a few Marines and 4 Hellions is the whole army. Neeb's very good. So shield battery's going down. Are they inside the mineral lines, Ravi?
There is one inside the mineral line, and another one pretty close to the mineral line.
He knows.
Yep.
He knows.
Getting up third base. He has a Phoenix out. He has a second.
Oh, look at the scout. Look at the scout. Ravi.
Yep.
Show him. Oh. He doesn't know. But the Banshee's at that time. Did he see it, though?
Did he notice it? He doubles back. He's like, wait a second. There's some blue over there.
And he's supply block.
Supply block on the third Banshee, and second Banshee is going to get spotted.
Oh, my God.
Has to pop that
cloak. It must be nice
necessarily.
to be this good, by the way. I wouldn't know, but it must be nice.
Where are the oracles? There is one oracle. Revelation is not actually available for another. Okay, has a second oracle. Well, it wasn't available in that one. All right, all right.
Not actually. Well,
Didn't let me finish.
yeah.
Hellions getting. I mean, he got more damage than I thought, but it's still not enough to balance out all that he just lost.
There you go, Robbie. You just saved yourself a Jeff scathing remark. You spared yourself. You started to say they did surprising damage. I was about to talk about the 2 Banshees that died. The proxy tech. The starport's away, by the way. So think about medevacs. And if he lets this pop out, that's a problem. Or is it?
Yes, it still is. It still is. And
oh, he's just whoa.
Yeah. Neeb is up 2-1, and it looks like he wants to make it a 3-0. The depth's going down really quickly, but again, on top of those siege tanks, they're going to be able to take one out. This is not exactly a cost-efficient trade for Neeb.
No, it was terrible. But that's just the first wave. Like, that was not good by any means. Don't get me wrong.
Does he have any Widow Mines left? He has
the one oracle.
It just went off, I guess. Not really getting enough done. And the other one's inside the main base is going to be retreating over. Phoenix are just killing off the siege tanks because there's actually not enough Marines to kill this off. Widow Mine gets another shot off.
Yeah. Tank was a little aggressive to try and pick that up.
Yep.
Especially when he's like, you know what, I'll kill the Marine too. It's like, listen here. You don't got that much going.
Banshee's going to try to trade out for as many probes as possible. Should be able to get 3. There it is.
But MaSa finds himself down 14 workers. Armies for both sides are really not a factor, and he's adding a 3rd orbital, which normally I'd be really excited about. Honestly, he doesn't have many good answers, so it's not like we can be too critical of whatever he does. But that 3rd orbital, look how far behind is the 3rd Nexus. The 3rd Nexus is done in mining, and he starts the 3rd, command center. It's not even an orbital. Yep. And he's still got these Phoenixes where there's not really good, and even where he put it is a problem. Like, that's gonna get picked off for days.
He's trying to put it in a more aggressive place.
Another SUV. Like, well, maybe
there's actually the Marines.
What about this next one?
I mean, Marines are not even going to have stim for another, what, 3 minutes or something? So
Jeez.
This is a bit of a problem right now for MaSa to even try and deal with just a small number of Phoenix and an Oracle.
Yeah, maybe it's too much.
I think it's just, there's no need for Neeb to even take the risk to ask the question, like, do I have enough to kill all those Marines? It's like, you don't need to, actually.
But Neeb now is in the Protoss playground, so the really good Protoss do this. They just add a bunch of gateways, get a Warp Prism out, go across the map and kill your opponent. But he could take a 4th, he could double forge, he could tech, he could go anything he wants. It's just, it looks to be a great decision. And it's in part because of the economy, but also the Phoenix tech is so problematic. You can't drop as a Terran. Cloak Banshee already got scouted. Yeah, there's like Widow Mines. That's cool, I guess. But it'll pick off one thing and then die, like every time.
Yeah, we'll even see if it actually gets that one pick off at some point.
It could just reveal it, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, Phoenix is moving over to the main base. MaSa still in a good bit of trouble. He's going to end up losing a few more workers that he really can't afford to lose right now. The bright side is, I don't see a 3rd base. So,
yeah.
What's he really need those workers for anyways, right?
I suppose.
There it is.
Way of looking at it.
And
as you said, stim painfully, still not finished. About to be done. I mean, maybe if he could stim and run on top of this and start thinning it out. But even at this point in time, if he killed every Phoenix in that Oracle, he is still 700 miles behind. Like, it's the gateways he has to worry about. So, you know, I know that people at home would love me to sit here and talk about this being really exciting and close and what can MaSa do, but
Jeff, he's only 15 supply behind.
I know. Yeah. It's just, it's the techs. And look at Neeb. Like, here, I said, here's what he could do to get ahead. He's actually doing all of it. Took a 4th base, double forge.
Got
still
a
has the
robo bay.
Tons of robos.
Yep.
Or, excuse me, gateways. He's got Storm incoming. Beautiful.
Yeah, ahead on economy, ahead on tech, ahead on army supply, ahead on the quality of the army.
Oh, and it's a fake Colossus too. I love this. So the Colossus shows up.
Oh, man.
And if MaSa doesn't just outright die, he now has to say to himself, well, I got to make Vikings or something to deal with that. In fact, I would have, here's the thing, and this doesn't matter, but just for people at home, I would have actually killed that Marine with the Colossus. I would have not shot it with the Stalkers. I would have had the one Colossus. It takes about 6 shots to kill it, but then after I did it,
almost got the Observer with that as well.
now watch the production for our Terran player if he starts to be... Oh, he hasn't seen the Colossus yet, so actually.
Yeah, I guess playing... It's kind of a weird situation anyways, right? Because you're at such a low bio count and everything else. Do you even, if you see one Colossus, do you even feel like, okay, do I start Viking production?
Nah,
you
right.
have to take a risk anyways.
You're right. You probably just make Liberators, which are like an okay answer to everything above, right? Okay against Colossus and good against everything else.
Storm is about to finish though, and I feel like this is getting to that point where Neeb is about to max out. He's adding on 4 more gateways, but this is where he can just move out and make magic happen. He's got 4 High Templars in a Warp Prism. He's got that 1 Colossus. He's got Charge with better upgrades than MaSa.
Yeah.
MaSa he does have Stim now, but he doesn't even have Concussive Shells. He's adding on his additional factories.
He's out of the map.
He's
stuck.
very far away from the rest of his army.
Load up, boost, that's fine. Some of it will go behind. The Phoenix will go after the Medivacs.
Yep.
And this is the unfortunate part. Everything MaSa does looks like it's a bad move, and it's not his fault. He's so far behind that there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, he's playing StarCraft very far behind from this point.
StarCraft's a harsh mistress, man. Like, there are ways to come back, absolutely, but sometimes it gets to a point in a game where there actually is almost nothing you can do, and
Yeah.
we're kind of there. We've been there.
Just numerically too far behind right now, and he would have to make actual move command of his entire army
Well, he'd have
with
to
a
throw.
handful of probes.
He'd have to, like, throw. Like,
Yeah.
you sleep the wall.
There's the Blink Stalkers moving on into the siege tanks. The Phoenix come in to lift up any of those other remaining units, and MaSa loses all semblances of his army, and with nothing left to defend, down he's gonna go. Neeb was already up 2-1.
Masterfully done by Neeb, and this is really cool to see because we were talking about this, but Neeb's in the round of 8 of the GSL, and he has been a little bit forgotten just because of how bright the star of Serral has shined. But Neeb is that other guy. He's that guy that has that ability to really just take a tournament and dominate it, and this is the level of play we were hoping for. Really well done.
Yeah, nice adjustment also, because it was also the fact that MaSa was still trying out a lot of that weird proxy shenanigans stuff. And you saw how adamant Neeb was about scouting, not only with the probe to find the barracks and stuff, building Reaper, but you even saw the Phoenix scouting around to the far corners of the map to find the Stargates or the Starport, etc. So Neeb was just super prepared this time.
He was. MaSa's not an easy opponent. Even if you look at the scoreline and those last fights were a little bit anticlimactic, he is a very tough guy to play against, and Neeb did what it took. Good job.
All right. Well, take a look at that bracket. We got one more semifinals match, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be True versus Scarlet to determine who is going to face off versus Neeb. That should be a very, very fun Zerg versus Zerg. We'll see you guys in a little bit with that match.